Hello, my lovely twin flames. Welcome back. This is your weekly love reading for the Twin Flame Collective, Twin Flame Soulmates, whoever resonates with this message. I wanted to thank you all for your support, your likes, your shares, your comments, um, all the support you have, okay? And also, I wanted to know how you guys are doing with the full moon, because I feel like this full moon that we just had on the 15th is really important for a lot of you, okay? So a lot of you are being triggered at this time, so I want to know what triggers came up at this time, because I feel like this last full moon, it was like major. The intensity was very how should I call it, great. It was very great, okay? And um so I wanted to know what you were going through, because I feel like this last full moon, it was really things that triggers came up, emotional triggers that it's been around for a long time, or you've, pent up deep inside of you. And like, it could be years, it could be decades, whatever it is. So let me know in the comments below what it felt like, what triggers came up. A lot of people are being triggered at this time. Like, I'm getting people triggered by my videos, and it's, the thing is that this is spirit. So I work with spirit. I am a channel. So if you have any issues, triggers are coming up. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being triggered. It actually helps you. It's a positive thing. I don't know if you all know that, but it's a positive thing. And so take it up with spirit, because I am speaking through spirit. So if you have an issue with whatever I'm saying, then you should take it up with spirit, okay? Call on to your guides and ask questions, right? So there's a few things I want to get into before the cards, okay? Spirit messages first. So there was someone who asked, I don't remember the name. It was something regarding my last video, which was about the masculine being in the void, and about, well, first, what I got from her comment was more like, about the chasing and the runner dynamic. So I'm gonna go into that, but that's not what she was asking. But Spirit wants to relay a message in regards to that experience. So this is gonna be a long message. If you don't want to hear it, you can completely forward through this before we get into the cards. It's totally up to you. So one thing is that, sorry guys, keep getting distracted. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. So this is about first I'm going to get into the runner and chaser dynamic, okay? So the runner and chaser dynamic is basically it's a group. So twin flame people come in different, like twins come in different groups. Everyone is in a different place right now, okay? There's several groups. So I'm going to go quickly into the runner chaser dynamic, okay? And then we'll get into the other group. So with the runner and chaser, there's no point of chasing um, the runner, okay? So it's usually the masculine is the runner and the feminine is the chaser, okay? In that dynamic, there's no proof of that, because the runner is like Houdini. And the reason why there's no point in that is because what are they running away from? They're running away from God. They're running away from spirit. They're running away from their soul self, right? Which is their evolution, right? So there's no point of chasing someone who's running away from that, okay? So in that dynamic, it's like you're going to hit a dead end no matter how much you chase the person. So don't waste your energy. If you are in that dynamic, do not waste your energy, okay? Whether they're your twin flame or not does not matter. Because some people, I've found that they chase their karmic. They chase even people who are not their soulmates, because they kind of get caught up in that label. And I know that label is old already, and there was so much talk about it, runner, chaser. It's like, then everybody is putting themselves in that, scenario, putting themselves in that group. And sometimes people that I'm, speaking to, and that I've been speaking to in the past, it's like, they're not even your soulmate, they're not even your twin. Like, so make sure you know who your twin is, first of all. But that shouldn't regardless make a difference of you chasing anyone. No one needs to be chased. That person, whoever's the runner, needs to figure that out on their own, okay? You got to give them that space, okay? So, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. They're going to come back, right? So if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. That's it. So another group that Spirit wants to talk about is, I'm going to call them the resistance group. So this is the resistance group of twin flames, where it's like it goes like on and off. The relationship is very inconsistent. Yeah, let's call it the resistance inconsistence group. Okay, so in this dynamic, it's really like a push and pull. Okay, push and pull kind of dynamic. And I'm gonna go into a scenario. Okay, so take whatever resonates. And this has to do, okay, the reason why Spirit wants to bring this up is because of my comment in when we were talking about the masculine and the feminine energies. Okay, so everyone has masculine and feminine energies. You are dominant in one more than the other. Okay, so that's why we're like, for example, I'm considered divine feminine. It does not matter that I sometimes I go into masculine. I've done it a lot, right? But dominantly I'm in my feminine energy. So take that and try to realize put the thing together. I want you to look at this from a higher perspective, because this is how Spirit wants us all to look at it, okay? So I'm gonna pick a couple, and genders do not matter, so we're gonna do energies. So I'm gonna pick a couple. There is Esmeralda, and there's Tony, okay? So going back to the feminine, about the passive and aggressive, this is what it's about, okay? Not aggressive, sorry, assertive, okay? Passive and assertive, okay? Which is, passive is a feminine energy, assertive is a masculine energy, okay? So Esmeralda and Tony, Esmeralda is feminine, Tony is masculine. So Esmeralda and Tony are together. They are twins, okay, and they have a connection. They're very attracted to each other. They see each other, but not in a consistent manner, okay? So Esmeralda is obviously more spiritual than Tony is. Tony is mostly stuck in, the 3D, like everyday life, routine, and so forth, okay? So Esmeralda's been on and off with Tony for several years, right? And Tony is like, Tony's in the middle of all these obligations. Tony is trying to, get ahead in life, trying to boost his career, what his, reason, like, not reason, but what he has to do to take care of himself. So it's really like materialistic. The main focus in his life is where he's going to be financially, okay? Let's just put it that way. So Esmeralda is like kind of getting fed up with this, because she's thinking to herself listen, I'm getting older, to herself. I'm getting older and I love Tony. I want to be with Tony. I want to get married. I want to have kids. I'm getting older. My life is passing me by and whatnot. So she's thinking all this. But it's like every time she sees Tony and she brings it up, Tony goes into the blame game and is like, woo, like resists her and says things like, starts saying, getting into victim mode. Esmeralda, you don't know what's going on in my life. My boss is a jerk. I'm trying to get ahead. I'm trying to move up the career ladder. And here you are talking about you and you're being so selfish, And he gets into this thing where, like, Esmeralda obviously feels guilty. Um, she feels bad, but at the same time, in the back of her head, she's thinking, oh no, like, how long is this gonna last, right? So every time Esmeralda brings up something, even a little chunk of like, okay, where is this going? When are we gonna take the next step? Whatever. Tony like pushes her away. Okay. Tony resists it. Tony starts making up all these reasons, and doesn't want to talk about it. He could go MIA for a few days, a few weeks, just because she said that, and he's like running, right? Temporarily. And so Esmeralda stops bringing up, but it's in the back of her head. Every time she sees him, it's great. They, enjoy one another's company. They go out, they do things, or she cooks some dinner, whatever it is, right? And it's like after Tony leaves, she feels great when Tony's around. After Tony leaves, she's thinking in her mind, wow, like, when is this gonna go to the next level? We've been doing this for freaking years. Like, this cycle, when is this gonna end, right? So I want to ask you all, when do you think this cycle is gonna end? Do you think that Tony is gonna wake up one day, like, I don't know, have a dream, and everything is gonna change, and Tony's gonna be like, Esmeralda, I want to get married. I think we should move in together, or whatever it is, right? Do you think that that's going to happen? So Esmeralda being passive, walking on eggshells around Tony, being scared. Oh no, what if I say something this time? He's going to go missing for a week or two. Like, and at the same time, when he's going missing for a week or two, she's thinking in her mind, is he with someone else? Is he with another girl? What is he doing? Is he messing around? So she's in fear. She's being passive. She's not being assertive, okay? Because if she were assertive, if she was in her feminine energy, goddess energy, take it how it is, God, goddess, it doesn't matter what gender you are, okay? She would tell Tony, this is what I want, and stand by her word, okay? Stand by her word. And she would pull back her energy, right? Because Tony's going to pull back his energy, which if she's in her power, she's not scared of that because she knows that she's great for Tony. They're a great match. And Tony needs to wake up and see that, right? He needs to wake up. He needs to close out his karmic cycle, the obligations he has, living in the 3D. Like Tony's makes his mom excuse because she's sick and he has to take care of her, whatnot, victimhood, right? Oh, I have all these obligations, my life is chaotic and whatever. And then next thing you know, it's like Tony's, goes to happy hour and has drinks with his friends and ignores Esmeralda for hours, right? This is what dynamic I'm talking about. This is a scenario. So keep in mind, it's not going to be exactly your scenario, but this is the type of dynamic in that group of the resistance, inconsistence, okay? It's on and off. It's like Esmeralda's emotionally unbalanced because she doesn't know what to expect. She's in fear mode, okay? She's in fear mode. This is the rabbit. She's constantly in fear. Is Tony gonna leave? If I bring up that I want to, take our connection to another level, is Tony going to shut me out? Okay? She's walking around eggshells because she's not in her power. Okay? Power and fear are the opposite, divine power I'm talking about, not power tripping when somebody's in the ego. But if Esmeralda stands firm in her power and tells Tony, this is what I want, and Tony says, I can't give that to you right now, and says, Esmeralda, it doesn't have to be in these words, but Esmeralda says, okay, well, this is what I deserve. Esmeralda pulls her energy back from Tony, okay? Because she is in her power. She is being assertive. She's not being passive. Because if she remains passive, okay, throughout their whole relationship, this cycle can go on decades, by the way. Esmeralda can start growing gray hair. She could, her young years are going to fly by, and Tony's still going to be in that cycle, okay? Because he's not doing anything with his spirituality. He's not connecting. They are not in alignment with one another, okay? So, who do you think will break the cycle? As I know some of you believe in miracles, I believe in miracles too, but you got to do the work in the 3D also. It's not only about energetically. You got to do the work in the 3D. She needs to stand up to Tony and stand her ground. Not tell Tony, well, this is another scenario that comes up it's coming up because I feel like some of you go through that too. It's like sometimes you kind of get into your power and you say something to your masculine. And then, you pull back your energy, your masculine comes around, because that's when masculines start chasing the feminines. Is like when you pull back your energy, when you're in your power, your confidence, you have no fear, right? The rabbit is all fear energy. So what happens is, masculine comes back in to the feminine's life, and next thing you know, feminine can't resist and, basically sleeps with the masculine. Then they go back into another cycle. Masculine has not changed because he's going to take everything, he or she, doesn't matter, everything the feminine lets him take. Okay? Because he is still in the ego. So, Esmeralda can either be assertive and do that and draw masculine back in, okay, to align with what she wants. Or she can be passive and walk around eggshells around Tony. Esmeralda can walk around eggshells around Tony for decades, okay? And then they're gonna get, gray and, you know what I mean? So who breaks the cycle? Someone needs to break that cycle in the 3D. And who's gonna do that? It's the feminine energy. And it's because the feminine energy is mostly, I'm going to say 99%, that's what I'm getting from spirit. Feminine energy is the more advanced. And I'm not saying this with ego, okay? So don't take it personally. Whoever's dominantly feminine is more spiritual. They've started the spiritual path before the masculine. So who do you think is going to do that? Who do you think sees it that way, right? Getting into their power. Can't wait for Tony. Tony's not in his power. Tony's in his ego. He's in 3D. He might even be stuck in the matrix. Do you guys understand what I mean? So this is when it comes to passive and assertive, okay? So I hope that makes sense for you. That is a scenario that I'm picking up. I'm sure a lot of you have gone through the similar, okay? So listen to this again and really, and if you're still in fear, it's like you have to get out of this fear. You can't manifest what you want in fear, okay? And then we get the owl energy for the feminines, right? And this is about honing in on your intuition. This is about rewards. This is about treasure, okay? I know in some backgrounds the owl is like bad news or whatnot, but in this sense, this is really positive. And it's because once you transmute those fears, okay, and you hone in on your intuition, your power, putting love out there, love for yourself, realizing that you need to break the cycle of this going back and forth. Going back and forth. This cycle needs to close out. So while the masculine is closing out their karmic cycle, you can be a catalyst to this, is what I'm saying. In some situations, you can be a catalyst of this, because you can be the example for the masculines, where you say, I'm getting out of the sphere energy, I'm moving into my power, and I'm getting rewards for it. Okay? This is ancient wisdom. This is loving yourself, because when you're in fear, you're not loving yourself. Okay? So at this time, also, the masculines are going through some kind of chaos, I'm seeing. You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing fire with this card. I know I'm going to take this how my guides are showing me this card. This is the fire ant card. This is fire. This is escaping from the people around them burning. No, it's more, not, sorry, it's not escaping. Okay, so this is what I want to say. They're escaping from whatever it is around them that's karmic, okay? Because they're in the midst of closing out a karmic cycle. For a lot of the masculines, they are closing out the karmic cycle as we speak, okay? So it's about getting away from this, right? It's about them burning through their karma. I'm getting a lot of fire energy, which is awesome, because fire is very powerful, okay? When it comes to the elements. So I feel there's a burning of karma at this time. And the masculine is trying to, some of them, I have to say, are trying to avoid this. But I feel like they're being thrown in the karmic fire right now. Because spirit, for some of them, is forcing them. Okay, so there could be a lot of arguments at this time, conflict with whoever it is, family, spouses, partners, take it how you will. Whatever it is, they're being thrown into it. And it's because for a lot of them, it's time. Like I said in my past 2 videos, I think I said, it's time. Spirit is saying, there's a group of masculines where this karmic cycle, they've had a lot of trouble, a lot of struggle, a lot of suffering. Like one of the videos I mentioned, it's like they're a slave to this karma. They're a slave to these people. And they've been stuck in this victimhood consciousness for too long. And spirit is intervening and is like, well, it's done. Like, we can't do this, because the masculine did not wake up when they were supposed to wake up, because it's all contracts, right? So especially feminines, and this is always coming up. If you're, a healer, shaman, witch, and I know witch has a bad image to it, but it's not. High priestess, whatever you associate, you label yourself at, you know who you are. You're working with magic, alchemy, energy. If you're working on your masculine and everything keeps getting delayed, this is for you. This group of people, this group of masculines, they're being thrown into the pit of fire. Okay, it's like the karma has to burn at this time. Okay, so this is really good news for you if you resonate with that message. Okay, at the same time, there's something about masculine and the past, present, and future, which is, at the same time, for, spirit is intervening in this karma being closed out, this karmic cycle being closed out. They're going through chaos right now, okay? It's in their face is what spirit is saying. So if they've been trying to avoid these people, whoever they are, this person, spirit is putting that in their face right now because they have to burn this. I'm seeing a lot of fighting. I'm seeing fighting. I'm seeing drama. I'm seeing gossip. I'm seeing all these, like, it's like kind of like, I don't like this energy. Like, it's like, if your masculine has been, if it's a group of people, if it's like a family, whatever, it's like, I feel like he's being attacked, he or she, whoever this is. They're being attacked at this time. Spirit is intervening. They are protected. Do not like think they're not. They're protected, but this is the time for them to stand up to those people. Because the cycle has to end. Okay? So this is about past, present, future, and the aspect of both. So this is about leaving the past in the past, not worrying about the future, and this is working on present. Okay, you know the crow, what it represents, ancestors, whatnot. There are people watching over your masculine right now. They are protected. I want you to know that. No matter what, hard times they're going through, they are being protected, okay, at this time. So keep that in mind, you all, as it's going by. And for some of you, the masculine is in isolation. So if you're not communicating with them this at this time, they're going through, when you're closing out a cycle, let me tell you guys, it's not easy. It is hard. It is difficult. You feel like your world is crashing down on you. Everybody you feel like is against you. That's what I'm feeling from the masculines right now. Like the whole world is against you. Okay? And they have to stand up for themselves. They do. Because some of them have been so used and taken advantage of by the people around them, whoever it is. Every situation is different. So take it how it resonates. They're being thrown in the karmic fire by spirit, but do not worry because spirit has their back. Okay, I'm seeing masculines being hovered around their guides. I'm getting goosebumps. Wow. So it's like it's like a battle that they're going through, and whoever's in front of them, it's like I see the masculine energy, and it's like their guys are like, on top of them, like, woo. So they are protected. Do not worry. Don't get into fear mode. If anything, send them loving energy, okay? Send loving energy from your heart to theirs at this time. And you could also send them power, okay? Send them power. Oh my, I'm getting goosebumps all over. Send them power through your solar, okay? Solar, because that's what they need at this time, because this is like the battle. It's like a battle. And they need to get into their power to overcome these people, this person, this situation, okay? Wow, okay. I'm gonna take that. So let's get into the cards. I hope this, guys, makes sense. Sometimes I translate things. I want to tell you all something. I'm also a trance channel. So when I do my videos, I go into trance. So I hope you guys understand the messages, because sometimes I don't even remember what's coming through. Like, I don't remember how it was coming through or whatnot. So just keep that in mind, okay? So let's see, for my twin flames. Ooh. I love it. Okay. Let's see what this is about. Okay, so this is about fresh new starts, okay? whatever you have done work for, you guys, whatever you're trying to manifest, for a lot of you, it's fresh new beginnings. Okay? So it might feel uncomfortable because you have to leave the ego behind, you have to leave the arguments behind, the past behind, in order for this. Oh, okay. They want me to point it to move forward. Okay. So this is starting fresh again, a new beginning with your masculine or feminine, whoever's watching. Because this is what you've been working on. So whoever's been working on this, energy, manipulation, healing, whatever it is, you're manifesting a fresh new start. And you're leaving this behind. You're leaving the misunderstandings, the arguments, the fights, blame game, whatever it is, that's behind. Okay? Leaving the ego behind. I love this, actually. Going back to the void, right? The masculines that were in the void last week. I think that has to also do with the full moon. So I want to know who understands what the void is. Okay, who knows what the void is, that's watching right now, how the void feels. Okay, so let's see what this is about. Let me get into the cards first before I like I said, you all, leaving the past behind. So in order to start fresh, you got to leave the past behind and release the past. Okay? Somebody's walking away from a really big, imbalanced situation here when it comes to the masculine. Okay? This has caused this person a lot of mental conflict because of the situation that they're in. Okay? And the masculines are waiting. They're waiting for the fresh new start with you. They're looking forward to it. While they're going through... Okay, so what I'm getting is death. Doesn't mean someone's gonna die, you guys. Don't go there. But I'm getting death. Death. Okay, what is this about, guys? What is the death about? Okay, someone is healing heart, healing disappointments, healing the part of disappointment. So whoever's been disappointed and heartbroken because of things not working out with one another in this connection, it's like they're healing the heart. Okay, yeah, totally. Look at this. Okay, they still have hope. So if hope was lost, it's like hope is being regained. This is being cleansed. I feel like there's a purging going on at this time, with both male and, male and female. Oh my God. Masculine and feminine. Okay, so there's this purging going on, this cleansing, and this is of emotions. So this has to do, like I said, Spirit keeps wanting me to bring up the full moon. So you could feel the full moon energies before the full moon, or you can feel it after also. So keep this in mind. Whatever triggers are coming up right now, whatever emotions, fears are coming out right now, they're meant to be transmuted. Okay? Interesting. So let's see what else this is. Anybody's been seeing 1212? You're going through some major healing, and it's in order to bring you abundance, okay? Yep. It's, look, guys, we got the Empress and the Cup. So as you're healing, okay, you're gonna feel abundant. This is the birth of something new. And what I want to say is, when the masculine comes back, it's going to be new. It can't be any other way, because they're ending a karmic cycle. And the offer that they're making you is sincere, okay? Given that you're in your Empress energy, that you're not in the fear energy, okay? Look at what I got on the bottom of the deck. 10 of Pentacles. This is merging. This is like very stable merging energy to me. Okay? This is shared resources. This is long term. So the telepathy that's going on with you and the masculine at this time is so strong. They're dreaming of you. They're having visions. They think they've seen you on the street. It's like, you know, I don't know what song that is. Everywhere I go, I see you, or something like that. I forgot what that is. I'm getting that. They're seeing you everywhere. Some of your masculines are thinking about moving in together, starting a home together. This is solid foundations. This is the 1111 card. I'm sure a lot of you are seeing 1111. I'm also getting 555. That is major changes coming about at this time, okay? Some of you might not see it in the 3D anymore. Some of your masculines, what they're telling me is realizing that they can't go anymore, no longer in and out of your life. That dynamic, they know, has to change. They know you deserve better, because right now the masculine is looking at you as an Empress, Emperor. Take it how it resonates. Oh yes. Breaking away from the chains and the shackles, okay? They're breaking away from that. So this is really good news. This is also ego. This is also karmic attachments, okay? I'm getting something about death and rebirth. So, and this is related to the void. They're healing at this time. This is the soul. This is power, okay? This is your solar chakra. So as they break away from their victimhood, their latch that a person, a situation, a group of people has on them, they're healing, okay? This is like opposites. This is the ego. This is higher self, okay? Because this is soul self. So this is definitely being worked on right now. So there's something about death and rebirth, and I want to talk about the void. They're asking me to give you guys my what happened to me, which I was like, whoa. Okay, so if you're feeling any feelings at this time where you know it's not yours, like you're feeling anger, you're feeling fear, you're feeling depression, and you're like, this is not me, where is this coming from? It's because you're feeling masculine, okay? But some of you must go through the same thing right now, is the void, and death and rebirth is coming to the surface. So whatever feelings that are coming up, they're going to trigger other feelings inside of you. So one thing can trigger something else. So I'm going to give you an example of mine, and let me know whatever, how this pertains to your situation, because everyone's different. So I was feeling a lot of anger towards my masculine. I was, didn't take it out on him, but it was more like in my quiet space. I mean, it wasn't quiet, but I was just like telling my guides how angry I was, and like a lot of anger came to the surface as I was driving. Like a lot of anger. I was cussing. It was not pretty, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know that was inside of me, right? So next thing I know, it's like the anger was released, and then something came over me, and all of a sudden I was so numb. I was so numb, and my guides kept asking me, how do you feel? And I was like, I feel nothing. I don't know how I feel. I feel nothing. I don't feel anger. I don't feel sad. I feel nothing. And they said to me, send him love. And I was like, no, I'm not going to send him any love. I'm not going to send him any energy, which is like, by the way, very surprising for me. Okay, like that's not me. And I was like, no, I'm not going to send him anything. I'm in the void where I don't feel anything. So if I'm not feeling love, I'm not going to send that to him, right? And yeah, of course, it was Christ conscious beings, because Christ conscious beings are all about, the sacred heart, everything through the heart, right? So I was like, no. And then there was a void. So they kept asking me, how are you feeling? What are you feeling? I was like, I'm in the void. I don't feel anything. And like, I didn't know I was in the void, but all of a sudden I was in the void. It's like, I didn't go there, but I was taken there. Okay. And in the void, I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's just nothingness. You don't feel anything. There's no feelings. There's no emotions. It's nothingness. And I've been there before. A little piece of me you probably don't know is I'm an activator. So if I have a personal reading with you, I activate you. Okay, I activate light codes. So some of you, like, your life completely transforms and changes. You get all these synchronicities. All of a sudden, your intuition is like, spot on. You're thinking, oh wow, what did Caroline do to me? So I activated you. Okay, and going back to the void, the reason why I'm saying this is I'm an activator. It has to do with my spiritual lineage as activator and a group of the divine architects who are the creators of this universe. So I've been in the void because creation started with the void. Okay, so I've been there several times. I'm not scared of it. It's really nothingness. Okay, but that's where you can create from, is the void. So I'm there. I feel numb. They keep questioning me. How do you feel? My guides, I don't feel anything. I feel numb. Blah, blah, blah. So all of a sudden, then I just got this feeling of frustration. Frustration came up, right? And by the way, I kept getting Christ conscious beings. We're here with you. We're inside your heart, whatnot. Always loving, beautiful. The Christos beings. So then it was like anger towards myself. So all these feelings came to the surface. I started blaming myself for things from the past. And what cycle? Because I heard cycle ending. Okay. So then I started getting mad at myself. I was like, I want this cycle to end. And the visions that were brought to me of like me repeating certain patterns in relationships, okay, from the past and now, and all this anger came out, and it was all aimed towards me, and my guides were there. Do not blame yourself. Don't go there. I went into the shadow self. Okay, I'm not scared of shadow self. I'm a Scorpio, heavy Scorpio, so I know about the shadow self. I know about death and rebirth. Like, I don't have no fear, because when I'm fed up, and I'll do anything it takes to break a cycle. So that is me, because um I've done it before, I could do it again. You know, like to me it's like, okay, I'm a fixer. This is the problem, I got the solution, let's do it. And I'll do whatever it takes, okay? I'll be vulnerable, I'll whatever it is, that's fine, okay? So this came up, I started blaming myself, and I said this cycle is ending. This is what I've learned. That's how you end a cycle. This is what I learned. A, B, C, D, E, F. What are you going to do from now on? I'm going to do this. And you list the things you're going to do, because you can't just kill that energy. You got to replace it with something new. That's what alchemy is about, right? So I killed parts of me, and now I'm going to implement new parts of me, because I'm breaking that cycle. Okay? It is karmic. So what I want to say is that the masculines at the same time are going through, death and rebirth. So killing parts of you for the rebirth. And it's so interesting. So I like at that time, I don't really think about it. Things are just, coming to me, I guess. I didn't ask to go into the void. But things just came up. So, but my guides were there for me, of course, lovingly, like always. And I did get into the shadow cloud. Then there was a purging, you guys. I purged so much. I cried a river. And afterwards, I felt so amazing. Can you feel it? Like, it was like, like you're reborn. Like, it felt like I was born again, not in the Christian term, but like born again. So it is rebirth, because you break the cycles yourself. You get into your power. You do what's necessary to break the cycles. And if anything at this time is coming up for you, please go in deep. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, they're going to feel uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. It does. But we all need to get into the process of that. And it's because that's what works. You can't, push things aside. You need that deep healing. You need to break that karmic cycle, because at the same time, the masculine is doing it, in their own way, in another way. But to prepare you all for, the reunion you want, the reconciliation, that's what needed. And that's what the masculines are going through. And some of you are going through that at this time too. You are being forced to end a cycle. So think about what cycles you're repeating in your relationships that are not working for you, that are not serving your highest good, because things have been delayed. Spirit is saying things have been delayed. This connection has been delayed for that reason. Okay? So how much of yourself have you invested in yourself? In yourself. This is about the self. Okay? Healing does not stop after, you heal. It's always a process. There's always more. So just, go there. Don't be afraid to go there. Don't be afraid to go into the shadow self, is what I want to say. Don't live in fear. You have to be the one to break the cycle. Okay? This is about balance. Coming into balance and alignment. This is the Fibonacci spiral. This is eternity. Balance. It's all about balance. Okay? So definitely the masculines are going through death and rebirth. And I feel like for some of you, you will also be forced into that through emotional triggers that are coming out at this time. And this is for karmic justice. So that reunion is, coming together. This needs to happen, okay? So, at this time, Spirit is asking you to uncondition those behaviors that you keep repeating in your relationships. Relationship or relationships. Look back at your other relationships. What is repeating? What behavioral pattern is repeating? What actions are being repeating? What ways of doing things in your relationships are being repeating. Okay? They've been repeated. You have to uncondition yourself. The way you uncondition yourself, and it's a karmic cycle because you're gonna have to learn, right? So that's why I'm so emphasizing on me during my time in the void and afterwards with the purging and the crying of the river. Like I cried a river, man. Like seriously. And it's because I wanted to learn. I'm ready to learn. And I did learn. And I broke that cycle. Okay? So this is karmic justice. This is what's fair. This is lessons learned. And the only way that you are going to have the union that you want, okay, and I'm not talking about the inconsistent resistance union. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for none of you. I want a balanced connection for you in alignment with your masculines or feminines, whatever you know, resonate with, okay? This is about karmic justice. So that's why if you're feeling like emotional triggers are coming up at this time, if you're fed up, especially if you're fed up, if you got anger in you, like, what is going on? This is for you, okay? It's time to end this karmic cycle. It's time to uncondition yourself from how you operate in your relationships. Not all things. These are a few things the way you're operating, okay? For me, it's like, because I am who I am, okay, it has a lot to do with me not setting boundaries in my connections, because I see people for their soul and I forget who they are in the human form, okay? I'm always looking at the soul, and I'm sure some of you do that. You're looking at what could be. You see the person's potential because you see their soul. You look into their eyes and you know who they are, okay? And that has to do, for me, it was boundaries, okay? Boundaries I do not set. Boundaries, limits, call it what you want. For you, it could be something else. So I want you to go within, get into the shadow self if you have to. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you're going through the void, let me know. I would love to know what you guys have been experiencing, because Spirit is saying this full moon we just had is going to be the change game. The change game, okay? Of ending, finally ending these cycles, okay? So I know this is a lot. This is like the karmic cycle with you and your twin. It's the karmic cycle they're going through on their own. It's the karmic cycle you're going through. But this needs to be done. If this is what you want, the Two of Cups, you want that higher love, right? You don't want the relationship that Esmeralda and Tony's having anymore. You want to take it to the next level, okay? Karmic justice. It has to be fair. You have to learn whatever it is that you should learn, okay? So ask yourself, I want you all to go within if you're feeling any triggers coming up at this time. Anger, frustration, whatever it is, being fed up, annoyed, go into it. Don't be scared, okay? I hope this has resonated with you guys. I hope this has helped you in some way. Let me know in the comments. And if you resonated with this, give me a like. Thank you all for your support. I wish you all the best. Seriously, I'm getting so much. You guys are awesome, by the way. I'm getting so much support, and subscribe if you already have it. It does help the channel grow. I have so many plans with this channel that are on hold right now. So the more support I get, there's so many more things I want to share with you. Okay. I enjoy sharing whatever I'm getting, you know, my experiences, processes of what you can do to, you know, transform your life and manifest all that you want. So I just want to say thank you again. I will see you all. I'll talk to you all next week. Have a lovely, beautiful weekend. And yeah, let me know if you're getting the 555 and the 1111. And what else did I say? What was the other number? God, it escaped me right now. Wow, it escaped me. Well, let me know what numbers you guys are getting. Why does that escape my mind? What number was that? What number sequence? I know I've been getting it too. Anyways, guys, yeah, let me know. I wish you all the best. Take care.